The Salt River Watershed, how keeping our water clean helps us all. This is the Salt River in northeastern Missouri. Its tributaries include the North Fork, Middle Fork, Elk Fork, and South Fork Salt Rivers, which join together to form Mark Twain Lake. Downstream of the Clarence Cannon Dam, the Salt River flows east into the Mississippi River. The area of land that drains to the river is called the Salt River Watershed. Everyone lives in a watershed. The fields, small creeks, and streams where you live drain into a larger body of water. It's all connected. That's why what happens in our watershed matters to all of us. The North Fork of the Salt River, which flows into Mark Twain Lake, is a source of drinking water for 14 counties in northeastern Missouri, and also the city of Shelbina.
I'm the general manager for Clarence Cannon Wholesale Water Commission. We are the wholesale provider of drinking water in the northeast Missouri area. Wholesale provider means we take water out of Mark Twain Lake, we treat it to the Environmental Protection Agency standards, and we deliver it to our customers. Our customers are towns and water districts, not individual residents or commercial people. And then in turn, the towns and water districts deliver it to the residential and commercial customers. Clean water is the work I do and we do here. There would be no purpose for us if we weren't making clean water. Essentially, for humans to survive, it's oxygen, water, and food. So, in kind of in that order. And clean drinking water is a big part of that. And part of the reason why I'm in this field is because it's important to society.
Mark Twain Lake is a source of drinking water for the region. It's also a great resource for our region in many other ways.
Mark Twain Lake is a man-made lake that is 18,600 acres in size at normal pool. So it's one of the largest ones in northeastern Missouri. Flood risk management was the number one reason for this project to be here, but some of the other missions of the Corps of Engineers here at Clarence Cannon Dam and Mark Twain Lake include providing fresh drinking water and recreational opportunities. It's also important for those recreating here. We have over 1 million people that recreate here on an annual basis. We have many campsites located around the lake. We have many boat launch lanes. We have recreational areas that include picnic facilities. We have beaches. So they also appreciate clean water.
As a man-made reservoir, Mark Twain Lake won't last forever. Its lifespan depends on the amount of soil that fills the reservoir over time. Keeping the water clean within the watershed will help keep Mark Twain Lake as clean as possible and extend its lifespan, so it can be a resource for our region for many years to come.
The healthier the stream, the healthier the ponds or impoundments, lakes there is, the better the fishing is. And we are all about the fishing industry. So, of course, we like the cleanest, most healthy lakes and streams in the state.
Because we all live in a watershed, everyone has a part to play in keeping our watershed healthy and our water clean. Let's take a look at some of the things that affect the water quality in our region.
I am the project manager here for Suez Environmental Services. Suez Environmental Services operates the water treatment plant on behalf of the Clarence Cannon Wholesale Water Commission. And we have operated the treatment plant for 29 going on 30 years now. We provide the resources and the staffing to operate the treatment plant and the raw water intake. Well, when we talk about our watershed, and one of the things we say, and it's really not just a slogan, we like to say that we all live downstream, and if people will just live by that and pay attention to what they put on the ground and follow labels to pesticides, herbicides, fertilizers, and use those best management practices and apply those accordingly, then we won't have issues.
Some of the good water practices that I promote, that our wildlife biologists promote to the landowners that they work with, are things like cover cropping. So that's having another crop in between maybe your corn and your soybeans. to have some green cover on the ground to reduce the impacts or effects of erosion. So buffers are good for landowners in that they can filter some of those sediments, some of those nutrients off. They slow down the flow of water on the landscape and can really also provide wildlife habitat. We also promote rotational grazing, so that leaves different heights of vegetation, different heights of grass on the landscape. And that's really beneficial both for wildlife and water quality, because as that water drop falls, if it can hit a blade of grass or a wildflower or something like that, rather than impacting bare soil, well, we've just reduced erosion right there and we've improved water quality.
If you farm, use good water practices, such as use low-till or no-till methods on your crop fields.
As far as in the community, switching to the wastewater part of it, be conscious about what you are pouring down your sink, what you're flushing down your toilets. It just doesn't disappear. It goes to the wastewater plant and it has to be taken care of there. And some things that get flushed or put down the drain are hard to treat, hard to deal with, and it can potentially cause water quality issues downstream.
We work here, we live here. We got to make sure that our resources are kept up.
Please do your part to help keep our water clean. Here's how you can help. Don't flush or wash chemicals, medicines, or non-toilet paper items down the toilet or drain. These things can make it harder to clean and treat the water that becomes our drinking water. Pay attention to what you put on the ground. Always follow the instructions on the label if you use pesticides or fertilizers. If you farm, use good water practices such as plant cover crops. That means planting cereal rye, wheat, turnips, and other cover crops between the soybeans or corn you harvest. This green cover helps reduce erosion. Use low-till or no-till methods on your crop fields. Use rotational grazing. This helps keep different heights of grass on your fields. Keep a buffer of native grass or trees between your field and any stream. Their roots filter out pollutants so they don't end up in our water. If everyone does their part to keep the watershed healthy, we can protect the rivers and lakes our communities rely on for drinking water.